Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with NVIDIA Daily Analysis. So NVIDIA further went down today. In this video, we'll take a look if NVIDIA can go further down or is there any chance for NVIDIA to bounce back this week. We'll use technical charts, fundamentals, and other data analysis to do this evaluation. Now, let's get started. On your screen, you see NVIDIA stock chart for today. NVIDIA opened at 128.44. It made a high 129.04. It made a low 124.58 and it closed at 126.36. That is 1.62% down. And after hours, it's already down 0.36%. So NVIDIA continues to go down. In my opinion, this is part of the normal correction. And as I showed you before, it's pretty normal for NVIDIA that in the second month after earnings, there is some slowdown on NVIDIA price movement. Let's take a look one more time. As you see on your screen, this is how the trend looks like for NVIDIA for this quarter. You see, after first month after earnings, some slowdown on the NVIDIA stock price. First month, there was about 15 to 20% upside. We're noticing in the second month there is some slowdown. And that is what we expected when I showed you this chart when the second month was started. If you compare with the last quarter, this is how the trend looks like for the last quarter. So after end of the first month, after earnings, we saw some slowdown in the Nvidia stock price. For example, 22nd February through 23rd March, that was first month, and after 23rd March, we see that a decline happened. And after second month, starting the third month, we again notice the upside on the Nvidia stock price. So I'm hoping the same behavior may happen this time as well. So starting third month, we might see some upside comes back. So starting third month after earnings, we might see some upward movement for Nvidia. And also, we got to remember that we have the earnings coming for Taiwan Semiconductor on July 18th. So if TSM reports a very good earning and a better than expected revenue guidance, then most probably Nvidia stock should also go up. And it is more than likely that TSM would report better than expected earning guidance, and also TSM should beat the earning projection. I almost completed my analysis on the TSM. I'm gonna make and load video on TSM regarding the earning projection and the possibility of upside sometime later tonight. Now moving on, last 5 days, Nvidia is down 5.80%. Last 1 month, Nvidia is still down 3.53%. And last 6 months, you see that it used to be above 145% last week or so, but now it's 124%. So it's trending down since last few days. And I still believe that it's a good buy opportunity for Nvidia. I did not buy Nvidia stock today because Nvidia did not go further down. I was expecting Nvidia to go below 125. It did, but again it bounced back, after touching 124.58. I had a plan to buy Nvidia below 125.50. So tomorrow I'm going to place a limit buy position for Nvidia between 124 and 124.50. Now let's take a look forward P for NVIDIA, Palantir, AMD, and SMCI. You see this table on your screen. As of this point, NVIDIA forward PE is at 46.80, Palantir 86.88, SMCI 28.09, and AMD 51.17. So Nvidia forward PE continues to go down since past few days, and if you take an average for last 6 weeks, that is 46.79. So it's almost there at this point. So this tells that Nvidia may not be a bad buy at this point. Palantir 86.88, higher than the 6 months average. I'm not going to suggest Palantir for any buy. SMCI is 28.09. It's also going down since past few days. The last 6 months average is 27.20. It's still higher than the last 6 months average. So that's why probably SMCI should go further down. But I already bought SMCI stocks yesterday around 887. So there was no point for me to buy more SMCI around the same price. Probably if SMCI goes below 850, I'll place another buy position for SMCI. AMD is 51.17, comparatively higher than the last 6 months of average, and that is 48.24. Now let's take a look at technical charts. You see 90-day hourly interval chart for Nvidia on your screen and also the MACD chart. So at this point you see that MACD line is going down further from zero. Yesterday I had an opinion that based on the MACD we should see some upward movement on Nvidia today, but it did not happen. But anyways, I do not see that this downward trend is very strong. Eventually, Nvidia should bounce back, either after TSM earnings or sometime later this week. If it doesn't bounce back this week, probably that might be a good buy opportunity because if it doesn't happen this week, next week we might see some recovery. So at this point, I am at a loss of about 1000 today from yesterday, but I'm not going to worry too much about it because it's just a matter of time and I should be again in profit sometime later this week or sometime next week. And as I said, if Nvidia or SMCI goes down further in next few days, probably I'll buy more Nvidia and SMCI stock and hold it for some time. Now let's take a look Bollinger Bands. You see Bollinger Bands on your screen. As we noticed yesterday, the gap between the upper band and the lower band was going down, and we saw the same behavior. The gap has not increased from yesterday. So it was expanding day before yesterday, but from yesterday it almost flat. The gap between upper band and the lower band is almost flat. So that's a good sign. So this means that even if Nvidia is going down, the pace of the downward movement is not very strong. And the short term profit taking is happening on Nvidia at this point. Now let's take a look RSI. You see RSI chart for the hourly interval, and you can notice that RSI is just above the bottom line, and that is RSI of 30. So that tells that at this point, RSI is just slightly above from the oversold region. So RSI at this point is not showing a very strong momentum on Nvidia for either direction because you see that is almost flat since morning till now. Now let's take a look news regarding Nvidia for today. So you see news regarding Nvidia and overall market on your screen. So the very first one we should take a look is this one that says that Nvidia stock falls again. Now TSMC ASML can boost AI chip sector. In the beginning of this video, I had the same point that TSM earnings can give some momentum to Nvidia. Another one we should take a look is this one that says rate cut optimism is lifting markets. So as we noticed today, S&P, Nasdaq and Dow Jones all positive today. Dow Jones is 1.85% up, S&P 0.64% up, and Nasdaq 0.20% up. So all three major indices are positive today. So that's a good sign for overall market. So this also suggests that we are still in the bullish cycle. And this market will be more bullish, in my opinion, as we move towards the actual rate cut. Now, this one that says that ASML expected to beat earnings with over 5 billion in orders during Q2, thanks to rising AI chip demand. And that's true. And same thing I'm expecting for TSM because Q2 overall sales was very strong for TSM, and that's higher than the TSM sales projection for Q2. And also, TSM should be able to beat the earnings. I will explain all the details in my video later tonight. I guess that's all about news regarding Nvidia. I do not find anything unusual regarding Nvidia that we should worry about. So this again tells me that Nvidia drop today and yesterday was part of normal correction. Now let's take a look at other AI stocks. As you see on your screen, the highest positive change is in SoundHound, that is 3.55% up. So yesterday SoundHound was down. Now today it went up. Apple 0.18% up, Amazon 0.16% up, Palantir almost flat, and Microsoft, Avago, AMD, NVIDIA, and SMCI all are negative today. So this looks to me that most of the AI stocks are negative today. And the highest negative change today is on SMCI, and that also makes a better buy if it goes further down compared with other AI stocks. I guess that's all about NVIDIA analysis and assessment for today and rest of the week. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you more tomorrow. Take care.